Is Friday, August 29th, and it's the end. Can you even believe it's the end of August? I swear my clocks are wrong. There's something wrong. How can this be? Anyway, it's almost time to start, and so I'm just checking everything. It looks good, and I thought it was going to be a real rainy day. It's kind of overcast and cloudy, but I see some blue sky and a peeking of the sun through the clouds, so maybe it's going to be all good. Great. All right, so if you're there, please do pop in. Oh, it's 10 o'clock. Okay, good morning, everybody, and welcome to Friday Stamping here in Franklin, Massachusetts. So this week, I showed you two cards. Let me just bring these over here and show you. These are the two cards that I sent you in my newsletter. A Christmas card, Christmas in August, number 8. Can you believe this? This is number 8. Holy moly mackerel. And then this note card. Now, I know this is very similar to one that we've done a while back, but I saw this on I think it was Pinterest. I'm not sure. Hey, Barbara, good morning. Welcome aboard. Thank you for popping in. What's it doing in your neck of the woods? In our neck of the woods, it's like 65 degrees right now, I guess. Crazy. Anyway, it's still summer to me. But anyway, these are the two cards. So as I said, this one was done with the washi tape and with the textured notes dies, as is this one. So I think what I'm going to do first is I'm going to start with the Christmas one. So let me move this out of the way for the moment. And let me bring in everything that we need here. Let me see. I'm going to move my drink, because we have to use the embossing now. So we're going to do this card first. All right, so first thing I'm going to do is I am going to get my embossing done, my heat embossing. So let's get this piece of cardstock folded and put that nice crisp fold in. Hey, Jan, good morning. Thank you for popping in. I'm so glad you're with me this morning. It's very nice to have my friends joining me. All right, so here is this. Here is the base. And I am going to take the the message I'm going to use is called Wishing You a Season of Hope and Light. And this is from the Brightest Glow stamp set. As will 61 in rain coming around noontime. Yeah, we had a little rain this morning, some last night too, but it looks like it's clearing up. So who knows? You can't do anything about the weather anyway. Okay, so let's get this done. I'm going to get this stamped. I'm going to take my powder pal and just add some resistance here, so that the only thing that takes place is the joining of the embossing powder and the Versamark. So let's put this right here like that. Perfect. All right, and now I'm going to take my gold embossing powder and sprinkle this on. And then let me bring this back in and see how good I can do here. Lovely. Okay, and then I'm going to also emboss the panel. Here is my little white panel, and this is the one that's going to say Merry Christmas. So let me just take this here and powder this up. There we go. Let me take my Merry Christmas. Again, it's from the same stamp set. Ink that up, and I'm going to put it on. Now, if I was doing 100 of these, which I've been known to do, I would be using my Stamparatus, because I love my Stamparatus, and it works very, very nicely. All right, so there is this. And then, perfect. Now I'm just going to bring in my heat tool and my little plastic tweezers. Let me put this cover back on the Versamark, and let me get this out of the way. And let's get this started. You probably can't hear me, but that's okay. This is going to take a second to heat up. Well, more than a second, a couple of seconds anyway. There we go. And here we go, by the magic of Versamark and embossing powder. Look at that. All right, that one's done very nicely. Now I'm going to take this one. Whoops. What did I do with it? Oh, here it is. There we go. All right. We'll get this done very quickly. There we go. Done. Okay, that's done. I probably should have done that last night, but anyway, that's done. It's nice. It's very nicely embossed. All right, so that's done. So now I'm going to show you a trick. You probably already know about this, but I'm going to show it to you. Maybe it's going to be the first time that you've seen it, and maybe not. But as you can see, here is the sample. So the sample has 2 layers of gold cardstock. Now, initially, what I did was I took a piece of 5 1/4 by 4 of this gold, metallic gold paper, cut it out, and then I took my textured notes dies, 2 of them, and said, okay, I'll need one for this one right here, and then I'll need another one for this. But then I said, wait a minute, that's going to be a waste of paper if I just cut this out with this one, because I've got all this inside that nobody's going to see. So what I then did was I took this, I put it on here. I took my other die. Hey, Ellen, thank you for popping in. Good morning, good morning, good morning to you, my friend. Thank you so much for joining us this morning. So we're working on this Christmas card, Christmas in August, number 8. This is the 8th week. Can you even believe it? But anyway, I was just showing everybody how we're going to take advantage and be very frugal with the gold paper. So then I did this. I put some washi tape on it. Then I ran it through my Stampin' Cut machine. And then let me show you what I got. You probably already know this. This is probably no big deal. But here it is. Here it is. This is exactly how it came out. And so what I did was I was able to use the inside of this piece of paper to make this layer. So I saved myself a whole ton of paper. How easy was that? Okay, so that's done. So then I wanted to make sure that this layer was going to fit on top. So I measured it very nicely. And this actually is 4 1/4. Wait a minute, I think it's, let me measure this again here. 4 3/4 by 3 3/8. And how perfect is that? That's going to fit on there nicely. And look, we saved all of that cardstock to make for this layer. Hey, Cindy, good morning. Thank you for joining in. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I am going to secure it with, I'm going to secure it. Oh, and by the way, what I did was I ran this through the falling snow embossing folder. Look at that. Isn't that pretty? You don't see a lot of it, but it gives it a little bit of extra dimension. So now I'm going to put some tape, washi tape on this. I am going to do all 4 corners because I want to make sure that it's nice and secure against that gold paper, which is... it's an online exclusive. You get 6 sheets, 6 of gold and 6 in silver. And I think it's really beautiful. And I've got a lot of it, so I'll be able to do a lot of these cards because I suspect this will be popular amongst my peeps. So here we go. I'm going to take this off, and then I'm just going to very carefully put it on top of this frame like this. East, west, north, south. And I want to make sure that it's absolutely perfect. Whoops, whoops, whoops. Woo-hoo! Whoa, Nelly. Hold on. Woo, hold on, hold on. Very carefully, I'm going to just lift this off. You have to be really careful with tear tape because once it decides to sit on your project, it's really stubborn about removing itself to be realigned. Ha, ha, ha. All right, there we go. Let me do this again. I'll get it this time. All right, there we go. Perfect. All right. So there we go. So now I'm going to press that in. Look at that. Perfect. Now I'm going to put it onto the base of the card. And for this, I will use my snail. I love snail. It's I have Stampin' Cut, Stampin' Seal too, but to be very honest about it, I think that I like the snail better. Oh, look at that. I just ran out of snail, which I do a lot. Let me get another one. Well, here we go, right here. But I like both of them, actually. All right, so here, let me make sure I get enough on that. Now I'm going to take this, and I'm going to put it on the front of my card. And again, east, west, north, and south. I should make a rhyme about that. I'm not good at rhyming. My husband is very good at that. All right, so there's that. So then I'm going to now take this layer, and this layer is going to go on like this. But I also wanted to show you that this layer was cut out again with one of the dies from the Textured Notes bundle, and it's going to go on like this. So again, I'm going to use tear tape on this because this metal is not a really impervious to really making sure that it sticks with well, you know, you could use Tombow. Tombow would be a perfect glue for this as well. It just takes a little bit of time to dry, but tear tape works very nicely and it sticks. So let's put this on like this. I mean, this is a very fast card once you get all the little layers cut out, but I thought showing you that little trick with the gold and doing 2 layers. And of course, I'm sure that all of you seasoned veteran stampers out there know exactly how to save paper like that. All right, so here we go. This is going on like this. There we go. That would be perfect in my eyeball. And now this is going to go on here. I did think about putting it on with dimensionals, and should you choose to do that, you certainly can. It's completely up to you. But I'm going to put a lot of snail because, again, I'm putting this layer on an embossed layer that's got some texture to it. So I want to make sure that it stays perfectly. Okay, so there is that. Now, lovely. Now I'm going to come in, and I did use Christmas banners. Now, I know I used a lot of different stamp sets. You do not have to do that. I used Christmas banners to cut out this piece of greenery. And then I know this is silly. And then I used the Christmas Classics die to cut these out because these came in a package of 3. I mean, you could get 3 cut out at once. So I said, you know what? I'm just going to do that. So I am going to use Tombow for this. I could have used a Sizzix adhesive, but I didn't. You know, sometimes I do and sometimes I don't. Wait a minute, what's going on here? There we go. And I'm just going to do little tiny dots of the Tombow on this. And actually, one of the reasons is I've got a bigger project coming up that I do need to use a lot of my Sizzix sheets. So I figured I'd just save that. Anyway, here we go. This is going to go on like this. And I am going to make sure that it frees the S. There we go. And I'm just going to tap that down like this. There we go. Perfect. Tap, tap, tap. And there is no oozing. If there were any oozing, I would just take a baby wipe, ball a little corner of it up, and very, very carefully dab that out because it will come out very nicely and very quickly. All right, now I'm going to put 3 berries on. So I am going to put 3 little dots here. 1, 2, and 3 of my Tombow. And then I'm going to come in with my take your pick tool, and I'm going to pop this one on like, actually, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to do the ones that join together first. This one. There we go. So this is going to go on like that. Perfect. And then this little single one is going to come on right here like that. Okay. Now that's done. Now, of course, I have to use some Winky. Why wouldn't I? Because I can. Look at this. See, the Winky is going to make this look a little bit darker. I mean, you know what? Let me put this other light on. Can you see that a little bit better? Maybe you can. All right. So here is my Winky. And then I'm going to put some Crystal Effects. And I know that, you know, some of you have Crystal Effects. You can still buy Crystal Effects. We don't sell it anymore. I certainly wish we did. We don't. But so Winky is the next best thing. But I have a stash of, of course I would have a stash. I'm the glitter person. All right, so there's that. Then I'm going to take my Crystal Effects. I'm going to add just a little daub to each of the berries, just like that. There we go. And, you know, let me spread this around just a little bit. There, that's good. Now, remember, this takes a while to dry. I always tell my peeps that come to my house, they probably should have their own supply at home because otherwise, if you are going to use it here, it's going to get, you have to make sure when you go home, you put it on flat on your car seat so it will dry. All right, so now I'm just going to take this. I'm going to take a little pinch of salt, and I'm just going to sprinkle it all over like this, just like that. That's enough. It's just like I'm peppering my stew. How's that? And then just tap it off just lightly, and look at that. Now, can you see that? Isn't that pretty? What do you think? Thank you, Cindy. I think it's beautiful too. And then, of course, the inside has got that sweet little message. It's all embossed in gold. I love it. And the envelope, what I did with the envelope was I took the embossing folder and I ran the flap through. So you've got all of these little snowflakes. And if I wanted, I could take my Winky and my Wink of Stella and just add a little bit of iridescence to that as well, and sprinkle some iridescent ice on top. So there is that first card. All right. Here we go. There is that. Now I am going to very carefully put this over to the side so that it dries nicely. All right, so there's that one. Now let's get to the second one. And what did I do with it? Here it is right here. Here's the card. Now, this is very, very easy. And I'm going to show you. Let me move this out of the way. Okay. Thank you, Jan. Now, this has to be a gift for somebody this holiday season, whether it's birthday, it's a gift for Halloween, a gift for Thanksgiving, whatever, Christmas, whatever. These are simply stunning. I just think it's absolutely stunning. So, of course, I started with the basic white as my base. And then I took 2 pieces of cardstock, 5 1/4, and then this is 5 by 3 3/4. I used the same dies to cut this out as I did with the Christmas card, and I layered that on. But let me show you how, and then of course, wait a minute, and then the other thing is I took one of the smaller ones and wrote a little note of appreciation because I love that script and I love that saying. But let me show you, if you don't know how to use the washi tape, how easy this is. This is from the Extraordinary Florist set. It's a bundle. You get the stamp set, you get these words, and then you get the die. And I'm going to show you how easy this is. Talk about fast cards. Now, I have a piece of cardstock here that is 3 1/2, and it was 11 inches. Initially, I did a 3 1/2 by 11, and I put the whole washi tape on it and then cut it up. But as I was doing, I said, Self, I bet it would be a little bit easier if you just took one of the panels. So that's what I'm going to show you now. Instead of doing the whole 11 inches, I'm going to do this one panel. All right, so here is this panel. Now, this panel, as you can see, has the Gorgeous Grape, Highland Heather, Lost Lagoon, Pretty Peacock colors. So I'm going to take this and I'm going to put it down on this piece of cardstock, and I'm just going to kind of center it as best I can, like this, very gently. Bring that in. Then I'm going to take my little snipperinis, and I'm going to come in here and cut this right here at the edge. Okay, now I'm going to take my bone folder. You could use a credit card, whatever you want. Start in the middle and then just work your way out to get all of those little bumpies. Oh, look at this little pearl. A pearl escaped. Oh my gosh, they're everywhere. Okay, so that's why it was a little bit bumpy. All right, so there we go. We're just going to pull it out like that. See these little tiny bumps? You just have to very carefully do this and get those air bubbles right out. Just smooth it right out. Easy, 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 easy. All right. Now, there, all done. And if you go to Pinterest and look up Extraordinary Flora cards, you're going to see amazing things that are done with this. So now I've got this panel. The washi tape is secure to a nice piece of basic white, and then I'm going to take the die and run it through, and I'm going to get all of these flowers easily, easily, easily done. So what I'm going to do for this card, let's get this assembled first. Let's get this, bring this in here and get this folded. I mean, these would be absolute. Hey, Michelle, good morning, good morning. Thank you so much for joining us. Michelle, where are you from? I'm sorry that I don't know where you're from. Are you from Massachusetts? Are you from Canada? Are you from Australia? Where could you be? Now, this card here, I just noticed that it's off a tiny little bit, and you know how that drives me crazy. So, yes, Michelle, do tell us where you're from, please. And thank you for joining us. There we go. Let's see. Okay, that's perfect. You know how that drives me crazy when there's just a 1/164th of an inch that's off. It's a little cattywampus, and it kind of drives me nuts. All right, so here we go. Oxford, Mass. Oh, I know where Oxford, Mass is. I have a very good friend who has relatives in Oxford, and I was born and raised in Whitensville, so that's kind of Central Mass, my neck of the woods. Welcome. All right, so this layer is going to go on like this. Perfect. East, west, north, and south. Perfect. Now I'm going to take my message, and I am going to put my message on now but I'm going to tell you a little secret about this too. Instead of putting adhesive on all 4 sides, I'm only going to put a strip right here. The reason I'm going to do that is because I want to have enough room to put my flowers and tuck some of them underneath this little banner. So this is going to go in just like this. Perfect. And then I'm going to add some adhesive to this. And this is going to go on the base of the card like this. All right, here we go. Whoops, that was upside down. That wouldn't have been very good, Barbara, would it? That would have been one of those silly little things. And I just see a little fur here. I call those little extra pieces of paper that pop up, little furs. So let me just snip that one off. Okay, so there's that. Now I'm going to take the die and, oh, let me show you. So here is the other panel. I forgot to show you that. There are 2 color palettes on this washi tape. This one is with the Flirty Flamingo and some Bubble Bath and Pop of Petunia Pop. And this one is with the, as I said, Lost Lagoon, Pretty Peacock, Highland Heather, Gorgeous Grape. So there are 2 different colors, panels. And in this roll, now this roll is almost used up, but I think you get, I wanted to say 60 panels. You can make a ton of cards with this. So anyway, here is this. So since my sample was done with this blue palette, I'm going to make this card with this palette. So here is my die. And let me bring my little Stampin' Cut machine right up here because this will work very nicely. All right, and I'm going to take this out. Pay no attention to the fact that this has got a lot of love on it. It's very old and it's been used a lot because we do a lot of stuff here. All right, so I'm going to put this in just like this. Talk about easy. Now, if I wanted, I could put a piece of washi tape on it to anchor it down. Because sometimes, you know what? I think I will do that. Because these plates are a little tiny little bit warped. And so I want to make sure that it doesn't wiggle. So let me just put this on like this. Like that. And then I'm going to put one more on the other side. I actually don't have any. Usually I have a piece of washi tape on my cutters because you know how you want to remove some of the adhesiveness because you don't want the washi tape to pull any color or design work from your project as you're running it through the machine. So if you put it on your material, your shirt or something, then it will very easily take some of that adhesiveness off, but not so much that it doesn't work. So here we go, running it through. Here we go. And let me get this out of the way. This out of the way. This out of the way. And look at that. They're popping out like no tomorrow. Popping out. Talk about easy and fast. And especially this time of year. So there you go. They're all out. I'll take care of that later. But I'm just going to put these over here. And then we're going to come and do some assembly work to make it look, make these cards look really pretty. I love this color palette. I love this. I really hope that we have many more washi tapes that come out that we can use to make beautiful cards like this. This is easy. And you know, you look at these cards and you think, oh my gosh, how beautiful this is. And you think, oh, that took a lot of work. Well, it doesn't. It does not take a lot of work. Okay, so here we go. So here is this. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to put my silicone pad right here. And I'm going to start with this one. It doesn't really matter what you just say. Oh, look, there's a little piece of washi tape that got stuck on that. So let's pull that off. We don't want that on the back of it. It wouldn't matter really too much, but I want adhesive on that. it's important to make sure that you get enough adhesive on this. All right, so I'm going to put this here. There's really no rhyme or reason how I'm doing this. I'm going to put this, I think I'm going to take this one, and I'm going to put this in the lower corner. All right. And so this one see, I've got enough wiggle room underneath here that's not going to affect the adhesiveness of this panel. I'm just going to put that on so that I can tuck it underneath that. And there's plenty of adhesive on this little leaf so that it'll be fine, totally fine. So there's that. Then I think I'm going to use, I think I'm going to use this pretty, let's see. I think I'm going to use this. I will add, let's see, I'm going to add this layer of leaves on the bottom here. And let's take this just with my fingernail and get that off. All right, I'm going to put this here like that. And then I'm going to take, let's see, I'm going to take this one. Oh, I think that's what I'm going to know. This I'm going to put on with dimensionals because I want it to pop up, give it a little bit of extra contrast like this. Here we go. Michelle, did you come to our demonstrator appreciation 2 years ago? Your name is ringing a bell in my head. I don't know why, but it is. Oh, look at how pretty that's going. Oh, you know what? I think I'm going to do it like this, like that. There we go. And then I'm going to add, I'm going to add this. I'm a project in motion here. I'm going to put these cute little flowers. This one underneath like this, like that. Then I'm going to, for this side, I think I'm going to take this one and I'm going to put this here. Yep, with some dimensionals. We're almost done. Can you imagine how pretty this would be to put in a box set to give to somebody for Christmas or, whatever holiday, whatever, or just because I love you gift. You know, how pretty these cards would be. You could do different sentiments. You could have some thank you very much. You could have get well soon. You certainly could have lots. That looks pretty like that. And then I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to tuck this one underneath. Yep, I'm going to tuck this one underneath like this. And see, oh yeah, that's perfect. And you know what? I'm going to bring that little leaf on top of that banner right there. You stopped at my house. Oh, yes, that's why I remember you, Michelle. Yes, yes, yes. Yes, see, I'm so glad my brain is working. Thank you. Yes, that's exactly how I remember you. Yes, yes, and yes. Well, I'm glad you're here. Okay, so what do you think about this, friends? There we go. Isn't that pretty? Now, here's the first one, the one that I did. Whoops, I got a little dimensional. So there's that. Oh, wait, I'm not done yet. We have to put some pearls on here. You know how we have to dress it up just a tad. Just a tad. So let me take this, and I think what I'm going to do, let's try a big one. I'm going to put a big one. I think I'm going to put one right here, like that. Then I'm going to get a smaller one and maybe put it here. And then another one. I can be as, you know what? I'm going to put one right there. Oh, look at how pretty that looks. And then I think that's good. But of course, I'm going to have a little winky. I'm going to put a little winky just to brighten these up, just a tad. You don't have to. You could leave them just as they are. But the ones that are on dimensionals, I'm just going to add a little bit of winky just to give it a little bit of extra pop and pizzazz like this. There we go. Okay. Now, I mean, really. And then, look, see, I have all of these left over from that one panel. So you could do another card. You could absolutely do another card. So out of one panel, you're going to get 2 cards. Now, I am going to put on the inside, I hope you noticed here, I don't even know if I showed you, actually. So on the inside of the card, I did put another flower, and I did the same thing with the envelope. And that's exactly what I'm going to do with this. So let me just pick, let's see. I think I'm going to do, I think I'm just going to do this little leaf. Yeah, how pretty is this? I'm just going to, come in. My friend is here. So let's put, here we go. I'm going to put this right here like this on that. There we go. So and now I will tell you that because, thank you, Beth, because you have a little bit of dimension to these stickers to when when they run through, you really need to make sure that you put enough adhesive on the whole thing. All right, so there you go. So there's that. So here are the cards that we're doing for next week, friends. This one, and I'm going to bring this one back in. Okay, so here is the Christmas card, and here is the note card. Christmas number 8. Can you even believe it? So that's it, my friends. That's exactly what we're doing for next Monday or Tuesday. I'm so glad that you all popped in and said hello this morning. I hope you've enjoyed what I did, and I hope it inspires you to do something nice for your friends. So I thank you very much. I will see you next Friday. Have a great weekend, and for those of you who are celebrating Labor Day, I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful weekend. Here in our neck of the woods, it's going to be gorgeous weather. And we have our annual Labor Day family party on Sunday, so that's good. So I hope you have a great weekend. I hope you have a great week, and I will see you next Friday.